Absolutely. I just need to say to you, Julian, sometimes it feels like, wow, this mountain was never man-made. It had to have been made out of cruelty and murder and all of those things. That's how it had to have been made when it looks so impossible. That's the time to stand up and fight, because nothing is impossible. Nothing. We can do it. We can shout. We can be sending messages. We can harass our politicians. We can do all those things. And I just want to encourage our people by saying, don't ever think it's too hard, or I'm going to get lost somewhere in the middle of this huge wall and it's going to collapse around me. Because, hey, I used to think like that too sometimes. And then, 4 or 5 years after a big event, I began to see how destructive the whole system is, because they began to take it out on the children at school, my lot. When they got older, they never got the jobs and all of those things, including myself. That's how they work. And what they do is evil. And sometimes it's really hard to say, let's move past this evil monster and let's do what we know has to be done. And don't be afraid to say, I'm afraid, or I think it's too huge, or I've got to have meetings and meetings and meetings with my people. You want to be like me? Something like this comes up, I put the statement out on behalf of all Māori. And if Māori disagree, well, have your say. But, it never worries me, because at the end of the exercise, we're not there for ourselves. We are there for our people. For our people. And maybe it will take the length of time that people have been talking about and reading about and realizing how this has been done before. And what came out of that? Well, we enjoyed some sort of freedom, some sort. I've never trusted the whole political makeup of anything, because in the middle of the political decisions, there are people who are waiting to be listened to so that they will get a balanced point of view. But no, they don't get asked, because they know that those government lot, those local body lot, they know if they bow and listen to anything we have to say, it's a weakness on their behalf. That's their problem. It's not mine. Mine is to have the courage to say, I represent all Māori. Not just my iwi of Ngāpuhi. No. Issues like this, you represent all Māori, all Hawaiians, all, your First Nation people. It doesn't matter where you live when something like this comes up. We have to be strong enough to say we represent the voice of our people. of our women, of our tamariki, of our animals. My gosh, you know, we represent the wairua of our tupuna. That's what keeps me going, knowing that my tupuna is there with me and saying, stand up and have another go. Try it from another angle. You know, and sometimes I think those are the things that help us to keep going, despite what is happening to your children who are isolated at school, who have the wrong name. You know, Harawira doesn't go down nicely with employers or schools or anything like that. They just get dropped off the end of the line. Yeah. I know how it works. And it hurts, but there's a bigger hurt. And that's what's going to happen to us as a nation if we don't stand up and speak out. What's going to happen to us? To hell with their rules and regulations. They are there for themselves. They're not there for us. No matter how good it may seem, they are not there for us. So I just want to encourage our people, all of us, to be able to say, I represent my people. Lots of our people don't speak out. Lots of our people don't understand. And that's not to say that we understand, but we know if we just break it all down and look at it for what it really is, mass murder, nothing else. I'm not interested in all the scientific rubbish that gets trotted out. I'm not interested. It's about doing away with us as a nation. So, kia kaha, everybody. Everybody. Just let our people know this is what's happening. This is what's coming up. And we have a control button that no one else has. And that is our right to our whenua, to our people, to our tamariki. We have a right to survive. We have a right to be the people that we are, the precious image of our tupuna. Sometimes it's really hard to look back and say, am I walking in the footsteps of my tupuna, or am I walking in the footsteps of a disguised, pretend kaupapa? Because that's what they use on our people. I mean, you know, where did this image come from? Where did this kōrero come from that says women don't have a voice, women can't be ministers, women can't do this, women can't speak on the marae, you can talk after midnight when everybody's asleep? All of that, where did that come from? That was brought here by those Christians, because that's how they treated the people in England. That's how it wasn't the nice people from England that came here. It wasn't. It was the scum of the country. That's what it was. And so we treated like that. So kia ora, everybody. You know what? You want to fight? Bring it on. Bring it on. To hell with the rules and regulations. Our whenua, our tamariki deserve better than to look into the future and see nothing else but destruction. What the hell is that about? What's that about? Okay, thank you.
Kare he kōrero tuatu I tēnā. E te marae kora a Titewhai. Nei ka mihi atu ki a koe. He tauira mo tātou katoa. Ka whai atu o tapu ai. Mātai katoa ngā mokopono o tēnei reana. You've set a standard for a lot of us to follow, and just deeply respectful for your contribution.